Alrighty, I believe we are live. How is everyone doing tonight? Yes, probably a pretty big surprise for all of you. There's been a change in plans. Lisa's not going to be with me tonight. This was a decision we made just a few minutes ago. We did the members only stream, which was a lot of fun. Got to get all up in our feelings in that stream. Talking about something that happened to me yesterday and talking about all kinds of stuff. and then she was like, you know what? I'm not packed for Aquashella. And I said, well, that could be a problem because we're leaving at noon tomorrow. And so, I said, hey, listen, I like it when I don't have to worry about letting you talk. So it's not a problem for me to do the stream by myself. I just hope that the people that come by aren't too disappointed. I know you will be, and I understand, but you're just going to have to deal with me tonight. But we're going to have all kinds of fun. We're going to get right into a big question that came in from Melissa Jeswald and a big super chat with it. Melissa Jeswald, big time friend of the channel. You all are, but Melissa is like, she's special. She said, I wanted to get this out of the way early in case you don't want to discuss it. We always want to discuss whatever you want us to discuss, Melissa. But how do you handle electricity for all your tanks? I had 5 tanks with power strips coming from 3 rooms in my apartment. It also costs a fortune. So I don't know any way of saying this other than to say we do exactly what you do. Now, having said that, I got a lot of work to do on the electricity in our fish room. We have adequate power in there, and we were very lucky when we bought the property and the building came with it. There are plugs throughout the area that we use for the fish room that are kind of perfectly placed for what we do. They're very low. A lot of them are actually right down on the ground, and there's enough of them. However, we have not been very good with cable management in these tanks. There's cables running over here and power strip running over there, and it's kind of a mess. And thank you for reminding me that I have a lot of work to do out there. But when it comes to hooking up all of the gizmos and the gadgets that we use on our aquariums, we do it the same way you are. We use power strips. Sometimes I will use the, what are they called? They're like a short extension cord, but it has 3 outlets on the end. They use those on a lot of construction sites so they can run 1 cord from the generator and have 3 devices plugged into it. I'll use that. I'll use those sometimes, particularly like if I have a tank that has 3 lights on it, I will run them all into that. But right now it's all hooked up just kind of wherever there's power, it gets hooked up, and that's unfortunate. But when I go through and I tidy it all up, I'm going to tell you the plan that we have out there. I wasn't planning on telling you the plan, but it makes sense to tell you. When we do all of that, I am going to get in there. I'm really weird with power cables and cable management and all of that kind of stuff. I can't stand cables running all over the place. It drives me crazy. And all of my places, like right now, I'm looking at a pile of cables because I don't use a desk that has a base that can cover all that stuff up. It's just all kind of right there. And the fish room is a total disaster as far as the cable management goes. But I'm going to get in there with zip ties and, get it all in there real nice and organized. And maybe that might be something I could get a video out of. I don't know. I mean, every single fish keeper has to do it. So it would make sense to do a video about it. In fact, Melissa, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to add it. I have a note. If you're a Mac user, there's a Notes app, or an Apple user. They have it on iPhones too. I have the Notes app, and I have a list of video ideas. I'm like Mr. Beast. I'm always processing new ideas. And I'm going to add it to that. Thank you for the idea. Cha-ching. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it like I'm some kind of greedy guy that only looks at the money that could be made. I just looked at, I don't know. I thought that was the appropriate sound effect for such a silly statement that I made. Anyway, before I bury myself even farther here, spell the word management while you are live in front of 84,000 people. That's not hard. That's not easy to do. But yeah, like I said, we do it, we plug in wherever we can plug in, basically, is how that goes. Ryan Gloff became a member. Welcome to the team, along with Victor Claudio. Hope I'm saying your name right. Welcome to the team. Always glad to have new members. Ligate 12 with his glorious beard said, what day are you speaking at Aquashella? Oh, I'm so glad you bring that up. Saturday at 5 p.m. And it's not just me, folks. Whew. It is going down Saturday evening in Schaumburg. It is me going toe to toe with a 6'5" dude that is a lot younger than me and could probably kick my butt, but we're going toe to toe on the main stage, and we are going to debate freshwater versus saltwater. This is going to be a lot of fun. And I started a little bit of controversy in the member stream, and I'm going to start it here too. I'm going to do it. And thankfully, Lisa's not in the room, because if she was, she would not let me do this right now. She suggested how fun it would be to have the room divided. Freshwater people over here, saltwater people over here. And I thought, you know what? That's a great idea, but it'll never work. And she said, why? And I said, well, it's quite simple. If we did that, if we separated the two crowds, the freshwater side, they probably have, I don't know how many seats, but let's just say 200. Let's say there's 200 seats. So there's 100 on this side, 100 on this side. If we separated them, you would have the freshwater side full. And this isn't because of me. It could be any freshwater person over there. Freshwater side would be full. And there would be people standing in the aisles. There would be people on the freshwater side looking over at the saltwater side going, why can't I just go sit there? The seats are empty. But no, you're not allowed because you're freshwater. So they would be lined up all the way around the whole place. And there'd probably be people sitting in crisscross applesauce in front of the stage because it would be jam-packed in there. And there'd be 9 people sitting on the saltwater side. That's what would happen. Starting it early. I'm getting it, Jake. I am getting it. I'm putting it down. And but no, in all seriousness, it's going to be a lot of fun. There is a very large, probably 1/10 of the size saltwater crowd that shows up to Aquashellas, and a huge freshwater side. But regardless of how anybody feels about anything to do with fish keeping, you are in a room, a very large room, 100,000 square foot room that is full of people that love to take glass boxes and fill them up with water and put a bunch of little cute living things in them. The whole room is full of those crazy people. So if that sounds like something that would be appealing to you, well, you got to come to it. I understand if you live in Atlanta, might be a little too late for you to make the trip. I get it. Wait till next year. Go to Orlando. It's a lot closer to you. It's driving distance. They do Aquashella in 3 places every year. Subject to change. I don't know what venues they're doing them in, but usually it is Chicago, Dallas, and Orlando. I think they should move it around, but I have no say in the matter. But for all as far as I know, and I don't have any inside information, but as far as I know, it'll be in those 3 same places next year. At least the state of Florida, who I'm thinking about all of you people in Florida, by the way. I know what we got from that hurricane, and it was hard, but nothing like what y'all went through. So definitely thinking about you. It'll be in the state of Florida, the state of Texas, and the state of Illinois next year. So beautiful, beautiful occasion to go out and celebrate this beautiful hobby. That's what Aquashella is. It is a celebration of this hobby. It's not somewhere where you go and you get 1,000 infomercials played to you all day long. It's not something that it's just thrown in your face, you know, capitalism. And it's not like that. It's a celebration of this hobby. You've got small mom and pop operations that are there, that have their goods there for sale. You have manufacturers that are not allowed to sell. If you're a manufacturer, you can't sell your product there. This is why when you go to the CJ booth, when you go to the Extreme booth, when you go to the CChem booth, they might have samples, but they don't sell anything there because they're not allowed. So you don't have, you know, it's a glorious weekend of celebration of this crazy hobby that we all love so much. Love enough to spend the evening with some weirdo in North Carolina. Still getting used to that. I'm used to saying weirdo in Virginia. Talk about fish. You're here with me, listening to me talk about fish. So obviously you're a weirdo, just like me. And so you would love an event like this. So why not go? If you're in the area, if you're in Indiana or Michigan or Illinois, or, you know, maybe Ohio's not too far. And I don't know what's on the other side. Is it the Dakotas? I don't know. I don't know what's on the other side. Wyoming, Wisconsin, all of that. If you're in that area, come to Schaumburg this weekend. You're going to love it. It's a lot of fun. And the tickets are not overly expensive. I don't think they're sold out. So you can get them at the door. You can expect to wait in a line because it's a popular event, but you should still try to get there. Ligate's going to miss it because he can only go on Saturday. We'll still be there Sunday. I think I said that wrong. He can only go Sunday. We'll still be there. We'll still love to meet you. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to come up to me on Sunday with your glorious beard. And I just want you to stand there awkwardly, staring at me until I realize it's you. Because I think I will, because of that glorious beard that I see every single week on my avatars when they pop up on this screen. So that will be fun. My goodness, what is happening in here tonight? Sarah Hallowell says, I can't believe I've been a member for 25 months now, and I love your content. Well, thank you. It flies, doesn't it? I mean, it's kind of crazy when you think how fast time flies. I remember meeting Lisa, and she had this little guy, this little kid. He was just a little booger eater, like a little teeny kid. And I just went 2 weeks ago to his graduation from Navy boot camp. It's like, what? How did that happen so fast? He was this little guy picking his nose, and now he's going to stand up and fight for our country. I mean, come on. How does this happen so fast? Believe me, Sarah, I don't know how old you are, but it gets worse. The older you get, the faster it flies. So enjoy every single day. I'm not one of those motivational speakers, but it's true. Enjoy every day because it happens fast. Hippie John the Fishmon, hope to meet you at Shella this year. Well, you better. I mean, there's no excuse. Okay, there's really only one way that you could go to Aquashella and not meet me. One, it's your fault because you just didn't come to the YouTube booth, because I'm one of those guys that I hang out at the YouTube booth pretty much all day. Unless I got to go get a drink or go pee or something, I'm there the whole time. I kind of feel obligated. You know, Aquashella brings me there. I feel like I'm obligated to be there. And so that's what I do. So it's either you didn't come back to the YouTube booth. Don't tell me you couldn't find it because it's like the biggest booth in the entire event. Or you showed up at Saturday at 5 o'clock and you could only be there from 5 to like 5:45. I'm going to be on stage and won't be able to meet you there. But that's the only way you won't meet me. So don't say you hope to meet us, because you will as long as you're there. And I look forward to meeting you too. XY Sky. I don't know how to say that, so I'm just going to say XY Sky. Just got married last weekend. Any tips for a newlywed? I've been a newlywed. I'm an experienced newlywed person. And this is the advice that I'm going to give you. Okay? I'm a 48-year-old grandfather of 2, soon to be 3. Never let that newlywed feeling go away. That's my advice for you. You know, they say the honeymoon period in a relationship. I'm not going to go into details, but you know what I'm talking about. That honeymoon period where you can't keep your eyes off of each other. You're just all over each other. It's wonderful. You never argue. You never disagree. Everything's great. And then you get comfortable and things wear off, and that's when the problems happen. So don't let that happen. Always stay on your toes. Always be thinking, what was I doing back then? And do that every day. Now, I'm not saying I do that. I try. I'm not perfect. I certainly have my share of problems, but we all do. But it's how we manage those problems that determines how well we do at this thing. So, yeah. You're not hearing that from an absolute expert, but that's the advice that I would give you. Sue Ann became a member. Lots of new members. This is so exciting. Jeepers 07. How did I miss the member stream again? I swear I never got a notification. So here's the thing, Jeepers. Here's what you do. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence here, okay? I'm not, I promise. You might not have notifications turned on. So what you want to do is you want to listen or watch the first 3 minutes of that member stream. You can watch it on replay. It's not one of those things. It's not like Ninja's streams that disappear when he's done streaming. Yeah, I still watch Ninja's stream sometimes. And when he's done streaming, it goes away and you can never watch it again. It's not like that. You can watch that 150 times in a row if you want to. So watch that. And in there, I explain how to turn on notifications. But it's very simple. If you're on mobile, I'll just explain it again. If you're on mobile, you go to our channel page on the YouTube app, and you'll see right next to the subscribe button, which should be gray for you, there should be a little bell. You click that bell to decide what kind of notifications that you want. And my recommendation would be that you click all, because we don't send out a lot. It's not like we're going to be spamming you. Really, nobody spams anybody on YouTube. But if you do all notifications, you'll get notifications for our Sunday videos, for the members videos, all of that. So that's what you'll want to do. Stephen P. 2003, the trader, is not going to be with us this weekend. What? Stinging, stabby, bitey, hurty things in salt water. Opening and closing argument. You know, we are going to have opening statements. And I suppose if you're going to have opening statements, we really ought to have closing statements. And I'm going to develop my opening statement on the plane tomorrow. Cutting it to the wire, huh? The problem is, Jake and I didn't even officially know that we were doing this until like 2 weeks ago. And then we have not been able to connect with each other until today to actually discuss how we're going to do this. So we are going to be kind of flying by the seat of our pants, but that's where I excel. And I think Jake does too. So it's going to be fun. And it's all being done for fun. We're not going to be at each other's throats. I'm not going to be biting his ear or anything like that. But we're going to have a good time. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. But that's a good point, though, because there are a lot of things in a saltwater tank that can put you in the hospital. And you don't find a whole lot of that in freshwater tanks. So you make a good point. Ligate 12 again with his glorious beard said, "Oh, I already read that. I can only go on Sunday." That's unfortunate, but maybe. And I think this, maybe I'm a little too confident, a little overly confident, perhaps. I think this is going to be a big deal. I think it's going to be something that a lot of people enjoy. And I think Aquashella is probably going to want to put it out on their YouTube channel. I don't know, but I think it's a real good possibility that they may want to do that. The only way I'll fight them from doing that is if Jake wipes the floor with me. He's a really smart guy. He could easily do that. So we'll have to see. But you might be able to watch it on replay. If you see George Coralfish 12G. Or if you see Sean Hale, if you don't know who Sean Hale is, if you don't know what he looks like, watch the Fritz Aquatics YouTube channel. Any of the last like 5 or 6 videos that they've done. Sean is basically taking you around the country, showing you cool things about the aquarium hobby. So he's the guy in all of those videos. So you see him in those, you'll recognize him at Aquashella. Go up to them and tell them, hey, you really need to put that debate on YouTube because I want to see it. I bought tickets, but I wasn't able to get here to see it. I really want to see it. And maybe that'll persuade them to do it. Eugene the Jeep. Welcome to the team, my friend. Thank you for becoming a member. I had a friend who you all know. Pineapple Fanta. Caffeine free. I have a friend that you all know that bought a Jeep this week. And we became friends again. I'm not going to explain why. He's not watching this. But if he was, he would know why I just said that. He traded in a Dodge Ram Limited for a Tesla. Now, I don't have anything against Teslas. I think Teslas are cool. I think Elon Musk is a god. But you went from the manliest of manly trucks to the girliest of girly cars. I'm sorry. Cancel me. Whatever. But that's how I feel about it. And, but in this current climate that we live in, the day he bought the Tesla, somebody offered him like 25 grand more for it than what he bought it for. And it was processing in his brain for a while, like, this is really cool, but I can make a bunch of money. So he ended up doing that and bought a Jeep Grand Cherokee and sent me a bunch of pictures of it. And let me just tell you, that thing is beautiful. Whew. So much nicer than a Tesla. Teslas are awesome. Don't get me wrong. But they ain't a Jeep. And my daughter's dream vehicle is a Jeep. So Eugene and I, we could get along pretty well. Zen Ginger, she's going to yell at me for the badge. Here it comes. I've been here over 3 years already. Gosh, if only there was a special badge for folks like me. Deck on it. I'm going to try, Zen. I tell you that every single week. This is what needs to happen, Zen, because you and Lisa, y'all text a lot. You need to text her and say, hey, tell that dummy of yours to do something with the badge, and then it'll remind me, and I'll do it. Sorry. Stephen P. Again, who's doing the Creator Scape contest, you or Lisa or both? Have an awkward day. You did that on purpose to make me say that word. No, it is not me. It is, in fact, Lisa. Thankfully, because I'm so bad at it and she's so good at it. She's going to be doing that. There's a lot of big creators in there. Not big, but well-known, very talented aquascaping creators that are going to be doing that contest. So another thing that needs to be seen if you are in Aquashella this weekend. Only Japanese cars for me. Hey, Japanese cars will run and run and run and run and run. I've entertained the new Tundra, but I can't get past the Sierra. That whenever I buy a truck someday, it's gonna be a Sierra. At least when you're asking me today, I would tell you it's going to be a Sierra, but tomorrow it might be going back to a Ram. The only thing I can promise you is that it's not going to be a Ford because everybody in North Carolina has Fords. And I don't want to be like everybody. Oinkmaster Supreme, or Melanie DC re-upped. Or no, she just said, hi, y'all. Hi. For some reason, every time I see you, I always think of Melanie Holmes, the extraordinarily talented aquascaper that I'm quite confident will be at Aquashella this weekend. I can't wait to see her. Lisa actually has a gift for her. So yeah, every time I see your name, I think of her. But I call her Mel. I think everybody calls her Mel. But anyway, Oinkmaster Supreme Forever just got Hounslow, Apisto, and Nigerian Red Crebensis at auction doing great in a 20-gallon quarantine tank. Do you think it's safe to put 4 juvenile ancestris with them? I am not an expert on Apistos, but I cannot see why that would be a problem. But you got to understand, I'm not going to, if I think there could be wrongness coming out of my mouth, I'm going to tell you. And I could be wrong. YouTube keeps telling me to place an ad on my stream. I don't understand what that means. I don't want to. Susan, stop. I cannot see a reason why that would be an issue. Putting the plecos in there, I think they'd be fine. But you know, ask Bob. He's much more fluent in Apistos than I am. And Jason. But you won't have to wait as long to ask Bob, because Bob will be streaming on Monday. Jason won't stream till Wednesday. We're losing a bunch of viewers, so is the stream cutting out on us? It doesn't look like it is on my feed here, but yeah, that's a little frustrating. Gonna be honest with you, the whole thing with the streaming and the lack of signal for streaming has made me question whether I should even continue. I'm just being honest with you. Not because I don't like it, but because I get very frustrated when I see this little yellow warning from YouTube pop up that they're not receiving enough information, and then the numbers start going. That's not my fault, but it bothers me that something like that happens. Salient Aquatics, best way to get eggs off glass and transfer them. Okay. My answer, I can almost guarantee you, will be vastly different than vertical egg-laying cichlid breeders. Angels, Severums do it that way. Discus do it that way. There's a lot of South American cichlids that breed vertically. My answer may be very different from theirs, but my answer would be you don't. You don't remove them. What breeders do is they move the parents, or they place something in the tank so that they can move that thing. Example, it might look ugly, but a piece of acrylic in the place up against the glass where your fish are typically breeding, you know, because they pick a spot and they go back there and they use that spot often. That's their bed. That's their master bedroom. So you put something there, and if you want to trick them and put a clear piece of glass or a piece of acrylic there, they don't realize there's a change. They still use that spot. They lay it there. Now you can remove the entire thing, eggs with the glass. Or you could use something like a piece of slate vertically. I've done that before. That works well. However, I've never moved eggs. I've always moved the parents. So if breeding is something that you are really after, like this is something you really want to do, I would have a place to put the parents. So they do their thing. The eggs are there. They're taking care of them. Things are going well. And we get to that point where things would go bad. Either they eat them or they, you know, whatever. You would want to remove them. Don't remove them. Remove the parents. And whatever other fish are in there, because they'll come swipe the eggs too. Remove all of them and just leave the eggs in there. Take care of them however you would take care of them. And then, yay, you got a bunch of free fish. That's what I would do. But there you go. I don't like the idea of taking eggs out of water. So the whole idea with the glass and then you remove the glass, I just don't like that because I don't like taking the eggs out of the water. They're probably not that fragile, but I wouldn't want to do it. Henry Chavez, haven't seen that name in a while. Hopefully we are still live here, but the numbers are plummeting. Makes me a little nervous, but what are you going to do? The show must go on. Henry Chavez, hi, how would you treat two big Oscars with hole in the head? They were given to me like that. They won't eat or swim. They stay at the bottom. Crystal clear water. Always crystal clear water. And I would try, if you're going to try Fritz products, I would use Maricin and Maricin 2. It's antibiotics. That's what I would try. Hole in the head, I have not seen. That does not mean that it hasn't happened, but I have not seen hole in the head ever completely go away. It's like a chicken pox scar. I have a chicken pox scar. I think it's right here or right here. I don't know. It's covered now, but you know those chicken pox scars because you picked at the scar and then now there's a little circle there. It's always left something like that. Like there's still carnage there, but they're no longer sick. Like they're recovered and everything's fine, but there's still scars. You didn't ask me that though. You just asked how I would treat it. Lots of water changes, very clear water. That's one of the best medicines for your fish, and antibiotics. That's what I would do. Catwoman VA with the $10 super chat. You call it girly, but my stepson's Tesla goes from 0 to in seconds. Seriously, from a dead stop, it felt like a roller coaster launch with lots of G's. It was insane. No, listen. I don't think Teslas are girly. I said you went from the manly man car to a girly car. So, yeah, okay, I guess I did call it girly, but I hope you understand what I mean. Comparing the two, a Tesla is much more girly than a Ram, limited, black, with leather and chrome. It just, man, screams man. Women drive them too, and they look hot driving them. But at least it looks hot driving my truck. See, you serious? I mean, it's crazy. But you're not going to look manly driving a Tesla. I'm sorry, Elon. You know I love you. I'm not a big fan of your satellite service tonight. But you know I'm a fan. But you're not going to look manly in a Tesla. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a girly car. But I would like to do one of those launches in one of the Teslas because I see people do that on YouTube and I'm like, oh man, that looks like so much fun. I'd like to do that. But I've never ridden in a Tesla because they're too girly. No, I'm joking. I actually do think they're really, really cool. Sean Damon again just keeps on going tonight. Hey, John, no, I'm sorry. I was confusing you with Ligate because you both have glorious beards. All you white people with beards look the same. People say me and Jason look similar. You see what I'm saying? We're all part of the same club, I guess. What do you think about wave makers? Do you use any? If so, what do you suggest for 125, 90, 75 gallon tanks? So it's pretty easy to pick the size because almost all of the circulation pumps or wave makers will have on there the gallonage that they're really rated to move. So it's not hard to pick what, and all of the numbers are different based on the different manufacturers. We do not sell any circulation pumps. Jay Wilson is all up on me all the time trying to get me to pick up the CJ ones because I am part team CJ. You know that. I am a part of the team. And they're great. I mean, their circulation pumps are amazing. I think they can be used for a lot of really, really good purposes. There are a lot of fish, many African cichlids, for example, like some good current. They like that water moving. They like to fight that current, and it works well for them. They don't want to be blown up against the glass, but they like the water moving quite a bit, which is weird because I can't imagine the water is moving really strong in Lake Malawi, which none of these fish have been in Lake Malawi, but you know what I mean. Their instinct, I don't know why they like that, but I have used wave makers or circulation pumps in large tanks that have fish in them that are not going to be affected by the water moving as fast as it would. Example, I did have one And it's still there actually, but it's unplugged. It's an Aquarium. I've had it for years. I think I've had it for like 7 years. It still works perfectly, but I unplugged it because it wasn't doing any good. And it's not the circulation pump's fault, but I used it when my tank was bare bottom and there was barely anything in it. I had that one log in it and that was it. I used it to sweep the poop off of the floor and get it going up to the filters. And it worked pretty well. Now I have the substrate in there and I also have a bunch of other stuff in there. So it wouldn't be able to do what I would want it to do. So I don't use it in there anymore. It's still in there. It's just unplugged. That's what they're really good for. However, there are some fish that are not going to do well with a circulation pump. Example, discus, betas, little fish. I mean, you're not typically going to have big circulation pumps in nano tanks. But small fish, most small fish, especially big finnage fish, guppies, they don't like getting blown around. They have enough struggle carrying them fins around. They don't like being blown around the tank. So a circulation pump would be bad for fish like that. So there you go. I hope that helps you out a little bit with circulation pumps. Very good at moving a lot of water very fast, but not all tanks are good for them. Saltwater tanks, you'll find them in almost all saltwater reef tanks because corals like to have that water flowing over them to keep them free of debris and get food to blow into them and stuff like that. So you'll see them in almost all reef tanks, sometimes even multiple wave makers, but not as much in freshwater. Usually it is debris control for freshwater tanks. Stacy Wilson, my husband and I are super excited to meet you and Lisa this weekend. Wishing you a safe trip from NC. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're looking forward. I'm looking forward to going to an Aquashella with her. She hasn't been, well, it's only been this year. She went to all 3 last year and hasn't been to any this year. And it's because of moving into this house and all of that. You know, it was a crazy time. And so it's going to be exciting to have her there with me. I can't wait. Even though we were explaining it during the member stream, we don't see each other a lot. If you meet us there, you're probably going to meet us separately. It's not like her and I hold hands and we walk around the whole time. I mean, we kind of get pulled off into our own directions. Like she's over here doing the aquascaping thing and I'm over here doing this and, you know, so you'll probably meet us separately, but hey, we'll both be there the whole weekend. Cheers from the Dominican Republic. I've watched all your videos and now I'm working on setting up my very first tank. It's custom size, little less than 50 gallons. Can you advise me on a filter? Well, of course I can. I would imagine in the Dominican Republic, you have access to the same things that we do here. 50 gallons is that size tank that I personally love a good hang on the back filter on there. Yeah, they make canister filters. They're expensive. They're kind of overkill. Maybe not overkill. I mean, they make canister filters for 50-gallon tanks, but they're usually, you know, considerably more expensive than hang on the back filters. And hang on the back filters are extremely efficient. And a lot of people probably think I'm going to try to sell you on the Tidal filter right now. It is the best filter in the hobby, as far as I'm concerned, as far as hang on the back filters go. That's why we sell it on our website. Unfortunately, I cannot ship one to you because we do not ship outside of the United States. So I'm not trying to make a sale here, but if you have access to a Tidal filter, that's as good as you're going to get. It's also the most expensive one, depending on, sometimes it's the Fluval, sometimes it's Tidals, whatever. But now, having said that, I did a series reviewing all of the hang on the back filters. There's the one filter that's weird and has a bunch of different colors and it's clear. I didn't review that one. Not because I didn't want to, but because I didn't want to from Fluval in the same series. But I reviewed the Aquarium, the Marineland Penguin, which is amazing. I love that filter. The Top Fin, which is a Petco product, or PetSmart. One of the two. And then the Fluval and the Titles. And they all work. They all filter the water. They all process the water. They all move the water. You have your snobs who would say, oh, the Top Fin is terrible. No, it's not. It works fine. Do I like it as much as the Titles? No. It's kind of ugly. And I just like the Titles better. But is it a good filter? Is it going to filter your tank? Is it going to take care of your fish? Yes. It's going to do what you want to do. It's big, has an open space back there. You can put extra stuff back there. I don't care what anybody says. Any hang on the back filter is going to work fine. Argue with me all you want. You may have had a bad experience with a particular brand. I've had bad experiences with brands, but that doesn't mean that brand is bad. That means I had a bad experience. My Dodge Ram makes a ticking sound when I drive it. It doesn't mean Dodge sucks. It just means my truck makes a ticking sound. And no, all you rednecks, it's not a Hemi-Tick. It's a straight up V8. And I don't know what's making the ticking sound. I've heard it described by a mechanic as literally a ticking time bomb, which is why Lisa wants me to buy a new truck. But I just can't right now. I can't get myself to do it. I've got too much Dave Ramsey in my head to go and buy a new truck right now. I have a Marineland Penguin, but the bio wheel never spins. Any ideas why? Yeah, see, that is a common complaint. And it's usually because there is something that is prohibiting it from spinning. Could be some debris built up in the little U-shaped things that the bio wheel goes down in. You could have the flow down too low. There could just be a lot of poopiness around it that's not letting it spin. Those bio wheels they are as light as a feather, and they're very easy to move. So the very smallest thing can stop them from spinning. So I've had that before. And what the tick is not in my exhaust. It's actually it's in the block. And the guy said it very well could be a crack. So thank you, Jeff Bezos. But I don't think it could be in the exhaust from the engine. I don't know. Whatever. I can do a lot of things on cars, but diagnosing a problem like that is not something I can do. But a mechanic that I trust in Virginia before we moved looked at it and said, this is the kind of thing that your truck could run for another 100,000 miles, or it could blow up on your way home. You're just never going to know. Anyway, what was I talking about? The bio wheels. Yeah, they are very, very finicky. What I've done in the past is fill up your big concern with those wheels is that they are a place for the accumulation of beneficial bacteria, right? That's why they're called bio wheels. So the concern is, well, you can't take it out and rinse it under the sink because that would kill all the bacteria and all that. And I get it. So what you do is you fill up a 5-gallon bucket with your treated aquarium water. You take the bio wheel out and you just aggressively shake it in that water to knock off whatever debris it is. If you think about a pendulum. No. How do you think? I don't know how to think about it. With the bio wheel being so light, it doesn't take much to hold it down. Because it's so light, the slightest amount of buildup on it in somewhere that it's not supposed to be could weigh it down enough where the water moving across it is not enough to move it. So cleaning it out really good, making sure those little U-shaped little things that it goes down into is cleared out, that usually will clear it up. I hope that helps. Jennifer Anderson, Mr. Anderson, even though you are not Mr., you are Mrs., but the movie said Mr., It's Mr. Smith. You know what I'm talking about. The Matrix. Got titles, sharks, and fluvels. Absolutely love the titles the best. I rest my case. There's a reason why it is the top selling product on our website. And there is a couple of sizes that are out of stock at the moment. And the reason why is because we're leaving tomorrow and couldn't get any delivered. So we have to wait until like Tuesday. So they'll be back. Don't worry. But yeah, the titles, that's why we carry them. That's why we haven't picked up another brand of hang on the back. Aquatop makes one. Marineland, I don't even know how to sell Marineland products. I don't even know how to get them. They don't go to any events anymore. And I don't know why that is. I guess they're doing so well with PetSmart and Petco. And do they sell on Amazon? I don't know. I guess they don't need peon little retailers like me. If I was going to pick up another hang on the back filter, it would be the Marineland. And I know that might spark some controversy because people are like, but what about the fluvels? The fluvel's a great filter, but I like the Marineland better. It's quieter. Particularly now, now that the Marineland has the pump in the tank rather than in the box, that to me, that's a game changer. And that's why I would choose the Penguin over the Fluval. I cannot imagine that Fluval's not working on a new Aqua Clear filter. I just, if they're not, that's shocking to me. I got a guy at Fluval that I talk to all the time. I've had a relationship with Fluval for a long time. And I would like to carry some of their products on our website. It's just very difficult. I wish it wasn't, but it's difficult for a small-time guy like me to get their products. And the fact that we've moved to North Carolina complicates things. Who cares? We will have Fluval someday. And if we do, I still won't have the Aqua Clear. And it's not because I think it's a bad filter. It's just I personally would not use it now because I would choose the Tidal over it. Or if I had to get another one, it would be the Penguin. So why would I carry something that I'm not going to use? But we all know Fluval, when Fluval does something, they do it right. Dare I say they are like Apple. They will put off something for years to get it right. And then they'll come out with it and it'll be game changing, like the FX6 was. Even though they had the FX5, which was that was a juggernaut for years, they came out with the FX6 in, I think, 2012. It's now 10 years, and it's probably still the best-selling canister filter in the hobby. What's that tell you? So when they do redesign the hang on the back filter, might be something that I consider bringing in if they'll sell it to me. But there's another brand that I know for a fact is working on a hang on the back filter. And just give you a little inside information here. I was actually asked my opinion on some ideas for that filter. I'm not going to tell you what brand it is. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to spoil things about what brand it is. But when they come out with one, you bet your cute little butt I will have it for sale the day it comes out. I'm not telling you who it is, though. But it's also another thing. It's going to be a while because this company, who I'm not telling you the name of, takes their time because they want to get it right. And you can't rush them. So you didn't hear that from me. Ligate, again, still with the glorious beard. I think that's why he does this, because he wants to hear me say that. Wants to hear me admire the glorious beard. I had an '05 Durango with the same tick, and people saying the same thing. 487,000 miles later was when it finally quit. Wow. Mine has 167,000 miles on it. I've taken real good care of it. She's got some work on her. I've put her to the test, and boy, did I have to put her to the test last weekend, driving it all around my property, cleaning up the carnage from Hurricane Ian. You'll see that in the video this weekend. Actually, you won't see me cleaning it up because who wants to watch that? But you will see what I had to clean up. She's been real good to me. And in full transparency, Lisa bought that truck for me. It's very confusing why, but it was basically like, it's confusing, but she bought that truck for me in 2010. And so I have a sentimental attachment to that truck. Have I had that truck for 12 years? Really? What? That's insanity. I have an emotional attachment to that truck because she bought that truck for me. And so I think maybe perhaps if I can pull it off, whenever I do buy a new truck, I will keep that one. Not because of sentimental purposes, but also because of sentimental purposes. But, new trucks are expensive, and I can't see throwing a big giant log into the back of a brand new Sierra Denali or something like that. Because listen, I don't make enough money to buy a Denali. That's why I'm waiting. I'm waiting until I can get what I want. Period. So, I don't have a problem driving the truck I have right now. I love it. And she bought it for me as a gift, so it's special. So hopefully I can get her up to 487. I don't know how in the world I would get 487,000 miles on it. But another thing I do with that truck, which is easily remedied with a trailer, but we get shipments delivered here 3 times a week for the website. Pallets of fish food and tidal filters and sharks, and the trucks can't turn into my driveway because I have a fence, and then the fence comes around the driveway. So it's a tight turn for a 53-foot truck. And then if they were able to make that turn, I don't know how they would get back out again without driving their, 1,000-ton, 53-foot semi truck through my yard and turning. Forget it. So I go to the end of the driveway with my Ram, and I open up the tailgate and I pull it up to their lift gate, and they just roll the pallets right out onto my truck. I'm not having them do that into a Denali. Whenever the day comes that I can buy a Denali. But I got to tell you though, the Denali Ultimate is the nicest automobile I've ever seen. Look it up. If you're a truck guy, look up the Denali Ultimate. Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate. Just don't look at the price tag, because Elon Musk can buy me a new a new Raptor. Ooh. Raptors are nice too. If I was in the market for a big time performance off-road truck, it would be a TRX. I mean, come on. The Raptors are cool, but it would be a TRX. Let's get back to talking fish. Fishy Biz, who I will be seeing tomorrow. John's taking me to an all-I-can-eat Saturday for my birthday. Libra season? Libra season? Oh, Libra season. I didn't understand what that meant. Yes, I am. You better believe I am. I'm paying. No, I'm not going to say that. Drew, you will not have to pay a penny when we go out to dinner for your birthday on Saturday night with everybody else. And Aquashella pays for it. Heading out first thing in the morning to Chicago. Can't wait to go to our first Aquashella. That's from Varmint57. You dirty varmint. That's very cool. Make sure you come up and and introduce yourself to me, because I'm not going to know who you are. I might know who Ligate is because of his glorious beard and because he's going to stare at me awkwardly, but I might not know who you are. So make sure you introduce yourself, because I see a cutie. Don't be weird. It's a dog. I see a cute dog. Looks like perhaps a Shih Tzu or maybe a Lhasa Apso. However you say that. Adorable dog. And I'm not going to recognize you from the dog, so you'll have to tell me who you are. Rochelle Williams with the adorable cat avatar. Setting up a new aquarium soon. Easy to maintain tall plant ideas. Thanks, John. Tell Lisa hi. I procrastinate too when it comes to packing. This week has been a crazy week because, we have jobs, and we have a cat who had to be taken to the vet 3 times this week. It's okay. He just got neutered, but wouldn't stop bleeding. We had to take him back. He stayed the night. He's fine. Then he needed to go back today for a checkup. And so there's been that. And then she went one day to our daughters, my stepdaughter, you know what I'm saying, field hockey game. It's been a wild week, so she just hasn't been able to do it. I'm just a really good guy for saying, hey, listen, you go do what you got to do. I got this. She's up there listening to Fleetwood Mac, packing, while I'm down here busting my butt for y'all. But the easy to maintain tall plants. Anybody who doesn't say Vallisneria is telling you the wrong thing. Period. That's the answer right there. 100 times out of 100, the answer is Vallisneria. Val, jungle, val. There's lots of different val plants, but that's the one. I'm not saying vowel like vowel. I'd like to buy a vowel, please, Pat. It's Val, V-A-L, Vallisneria. Look that up. Very pretty. I can even keep these plants. And if I can keep them, they're good. I can keep Vallisneria. I can keep what's that other one? The octopus. I can keep Anubias, and I can keep anything made by anything from Tropica. Other than that, I kill them all. I'm terrible with plants, but I can keep all of those. Andy Rink became a member. Welcome to the team. So excited. Lots of new members tonight. Let's look at the thing. 6 new members tonight. How about that? That's fun. Love to see that. Make sure you join us next Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, for the little pre-stream. I see you. This idiot is outside of the window, putting the flashlight under her face going, ooh. My wife, ladies and gentlemen. But of course you can't see her. She's right behind you, though. If you turn around now, it's too late because she's already gone. Jeremy Moore, I got a 90-gallon tank for free. Well done. It came with 2 parrots and a clown loach. I added 4 cichlids in there. They are so cute. Any thoughts on tank mates? 2 parrots, 4 cichlids. Now see, here's the thing, Jeremy. We got to have a little talk here. Because cichlids could mean a lot of things. We probably 7 or 8 years ago, African cichlids became just cichlids. I have a 125-gallon cichlid tank. And when people would say that, they meant African cichlid tank. But I don't know that. So I'm like, what cichlid? I mean, angels are cichlids. Discus are cichlids. Crebensis are cichlids, aren't they? Epistos, rams, Africans, Oscars. I mean, the list is long of cichlids. So I need a little bit more clarification, and it might be hard because the chat runs very fast. But parrots do not get gargantuan, but they get bigger than you think they're going to get. And clown loaches get way bigger than you think they can get. It takes them a long time, but they can get like 15 inches long. It's ridiculous to see like fully grown clown loaches, you would be like, what is that? Because it's not a clown loach. Because every single clown loach I've ever seen is this big. That doesn't make sense, what I'm seeing in that tank. It's a clown loach. It's just been treated right and is huge. So, you know, you're going to be cutting it close already. If your 4 cichlids that you added are like a Jack Dempsey and I don't know, a Firemouth and a Texas cichlid, you're done. In fact, you might be a little crowded in there. But if you put in there, you know, 4 yellow labs, you still got some room. People are going to be upset with you because you put yellow labs with blood parrots, but I've seen it done. I've seen it done in my own family. So, okay. Drew, let me ask you all a question. I want you to be honest with me now. I want you to tell me your honest answer. Why does Fishy Biz, I'm not going to say his real name because I don't know if he's put that out. I think he has, but you know, he hasn't put it out in front of 84,000 people like I'm talking to right now. But answer me this question. Why does this idiot always put his comments with all caps? Why does this idiot do that? I don't understand why this 6'5" Larry Fishburne looking idiot types in all caps all the time. Why does he do that? It's a mental problem that he has. And I don't understand it. And then you see, you got people like Hippie John that feel like because I'm answering Fishy Biz, I've got to do what he does and I've got to do all caps. And then it's anarchy in the chat with all of the caps. He'll get up. We'll all get up. It'll be anarchy. What is it? What movie is that? Big props to whoever can get that line right there. That's a good line. That's a deep cut from a big time movie of which I was just very close to the filming location of that movie. See, now we have it all over the chat. Silver Creek is doing it. Zen Ginger's doing it. Now, what are you doing to my chat, Drew? Madness. Douglas Korb, 15 months he's been a member. Cough, CJ Cough. I don't know what you're talking about. Breakfast Club. Well done, Zen. I knew I could count on you. The great John Bender said that infamous line talking to, I am totally drawing a blank on the name of the guy. Rachel Schlin, I do this every week. I do this, and you comment every week because you want me to see, you want to see me struggle on your, I don't pay attention to just caps. I pay attention to Drew because he's a friend and I like giving him a hard time. The caps do make it a little bit more noticeable, but you know what makes it even more noticeable? If you put KG at KG Tropicals so that it's orange, that's much more effective than all caps, because all caps just gets on my nerves and then I yell at you like I just did with Drew. Judd Nelson, yes. Wasn't he that was a guy right there. Loved John Bender. Oh, Lord, won't you buy me? It skipped. Mercedes-Benz, my friends all have Porsches. I must make amends. I know that song. I just can't think of it right now. It's like a big time song. I know that. But I'm sorry I mess up your name every week. It really bothers me that I do that. Nanners Piddlesmith says, yay fish. These idiots with their all caps now. This is happening. It's happening now because of you, Drew. Mr. Clark. Clark. I was sent here to piss you off. You know that Gotta love me, John. No, I don't. I can hate you all I want. And then Mr. Weeds93 says, what if we do both? Then you're doubly a jerk. See? You're being a jerk for being jerk's sake. That's what it is. I love my chat. It's so much fun. Jimmy Jansen sounds an awful lot like Jimmy Johnson. I'm not a hater of that guy because you can't hate greatness. The NASCAR driver, not the Cowboys and University of Miami coach. Don't particularly like him, but the NASCAR driver, I'm fond of him because he was great. Whips World coming in with the all caps. Yay. Do you have my Oscar? He's a biggin, but he's not faring well with... Do you want my Jaguar? Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? Do you want my Oscar? He's a biggin, but he's not faring well with the Jaguar anymore. Save him. Whip. I already have 3. And most likely yours is probably the same type as one of my 3. And I don't want duplicates. I'm really sorry. If it was a albino red, then I might consider it. But then we have the challenge that is, you live in Chicago and I live in North Carolina. And I will not accept you driving halfway across the country to give me a fish like Eric Furlow did. Not going to accept it. I'm not going to allow you to do that. I will not answer the door. You know I'm lying, but don't do that. You live in a big fish area. You can find somebody that'll take that fish off of you. If I save all the Oscars, I will have 45 Oscars in every, I just can't do that. Planted Tanks. See you at Aquashella again this year. Waterbox invited me to show and talk about my Waterbox tank as part of their Blue Friday sale. Blue Friday event. Stoked. Awesome. That's very, very cool. Yeah, Waterbox has never said 2 words to me, but maybe it's because they know I've got a relationship with Custom Aquariums and they're like, well, he's kind of taken. Seats taken. Rachel, again, I love Lamp. You thought you were going to get one over on me. Nope. It's Anchorman 1, and it's Brick. Are you just looking at things and saying you love them? I mean, you can't get me with Anchorman. It's just not going to happen. Well, you could. I mean, I know the main ones, but who doesn't love Brick? Hey, where did you get those clothes? At the toilet store? Come on. I mean, how do you not love that guy? Whips World member for 30 months. Whew. This might be my last member milestone chat at this level. I'm switching over to my real channel, so I have to start all over. Remember me? What do you mean your real chat? I don't understand. What's happening here? This isn't the real channel. Watch, Whips World actually has a channel where he talks about like heavy metal music because, he's like 6'9", he has long hair. He looks like he could play bass for Slayer, and watch, he's got like 8 million subscribers on his channel that he talks about heavy metal music. I'd be like, hey, he's been to my house. He's a big time celebrity. And then Rachel finally says, you can just call me Rachel. We're pals now. Thank you. That takes so much pressure off of me. I appreciate that very much because it was bothering me. Fishtachio, do you want my yellow Oscar? See, this is what happens. Whip, I almost called you by your real name. Why is everybody saying we love you, John? What is this? What's happening here? I love when people love me, but I don't know why I'm getting so much love. What did I do? Did somebody, everyone in all caps one time say we love, see Fishy Biz. Aw. Isn't that so sweet? You rascal, you. Hi from Canada, John. I know the Canadian flag, but even though it's really, really small in this thing. Been following you guys for a couple of months now. Thank you for all the great advice. You are so welcome. Thank you for following us for a couple of months. I was at the concert that Janis Joplin first sang that song. She wrote it in a bar across the street from the Capitol Theater in Portchester, New York. Portchester? Is that the one? Yeah. See? Okay. And that sounds like something Janis Joplin would write. You know, was she like looking at all of the purple and blue and brown moving walls while she was on acid when she wrote that song? Probably. Fish Tank Barn comes in here and commits the act of blaspheme, ladies and gentlemen. He has said the thing. Let me see. Where is the block button? Is that on the stream here? He has said the worst thing that anybody could say to me, which is you should get rid of your Oscars and get Goodeids. Goodeids are cool. They're really cool. I saw some really cool ones at Shed. But no, I will not do any such thing. Mike, you're going to be there tomorrow, aren't you? You're going to be at Aquashella this weekend, aren't you? I thought I saw your name on the list. I haven't seen Mike in a while. I want to... Oh, and I forgot to welcome Danbury Aquarium and Supplies to the member team. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I need to do a shout out here, folks. And this is a premature shout out. But it's a shout out based on somebody saying yes. If you've been following us for the recent months, you know that our youngest is currently in Chicago, just graduated from boot camp. Showed that in last week's video. Of course, nobody watched it, which is unfortunate. But, you know, this is the life of a YouTuber. I'm not going to cry about it. Mike is going to be in Chicago. Nice. Good. I'll see you there. So he is like 30 minutes, 40 minutes maybe from Schaumburg. And we were hoping that he might be able to get Liberty, which is just a fancy way of saying a day off in the military or in the Navy. I don't know if that's all military. And he didn't know until if he was going to be able to get it. Now we're flying in there. We don't have a rental car this time because we don't need one. We just take an Uber from the airport to the hotel and we never leave. I mean, that's just how it works. And if we do go somewhere, you know, we're fortunate in that we have friends like the Adams family that will take us in one of their large vehicles that they have that can fit us. Cause I'm a large guy. I need a large vehicle to drive me around. So we were like, okay, how are we going to get him here? I mean, he's in school, you know, he doesn't have a vehicle. And even if he wasn't in school, he still doesn't have a vehicle. So how are we going to get him there? And I took a long shot and I asked my friend Kasha from Creative Pet Keeping, who lives about 15 minutes from where he is. She's coming to the event. So I asked her, I said, hey, could I ask you, you know, I'll fill your gas tank up, whatever it takes, 220, 221, whatever it takes. Would it be possible on your way in to pick him up and bring him in? And then perhaps, if possible, you know, when you go home, take him back. He really wants to go to an Aquashella. He's been talking about it for a couple of years now. He would really like to be able to go to one of these. And he's the one that took care of all of our fish when we would go to Aquashellas and stuff like that. He's always wanted to go. He's in the same town where Aquashella is. I asked her and she said, of course I will. That's a friend, folks. I know I'm blessed to have many friends in the YouTube space that would do something like that. And I would do the same for them. But I wanted to shout that out. Now, I don't know if it will ever happen because he might not get Liberty. You know, things might not work out, whatever it is. But just the fact that she said yes and her husband, Fu, said yes, I'm it just means the world to Lisa and I and to CJ. So thank you, Kasha. Even if it doesn't happen, it still means a lot that you said yes. I wanted to do that publicly in front of 84,000 people watching right now. What better time is it than to shout that person out in a big way? Thank you, Kasha. Garden of Whedon, what do you think of Aaron Judge going for 62? Didn't he get it? He's not going for it. He got it, didn't he? I saw a... didn't the guy fall that was trying to get the home run? Or maybe that was fake. I don't know. See, I haven't been watching baseball. I don't watch ESPN. I don't really see any of that stuff. Ever since the Nats, you know what they did. I just haven't been, like, I gave up on this season. I'm not saying I've given up on them forever, but not this season. So I haven't been following baseball at all, but I've been watching a lot of shorts on YouTube. And it's a problem because it's just like TikTok. You click on a short, you see a thumbnail for a short, and you're like, oh, let me see what that is. And you click on it, and then 25 minutes goes by, and you didn't even realize it. You're just, I use a Mac, so I just push the down arrow button. Down arrow, and it's Joe Rogan, and it's like, it's a beautiful thing. And this is why I've started putting shorts up too, by the way. Still a work in progress. Put up some older clips, and then we're making new ones and stuff like that. So it's fun. But I saw a short that was somebody said Aaron Judge hitting his 62nd, and then the guy was going for the ball and fell. And I think the title of the video was "Man Dies Going for Aaron Judge's 62nd Home Run." That might have been fake. I don't know. But it was funny because they added a sound effect that was the guy screaming when he fell. It was really funny. I hope the guy didn't get hurt. I don't know what happened. But those daggone YouTube shorts, man, whew, they are not good because you invest a lot of time and you don't even know it. I call my Pleco Percy a Plecolatopus. Ever since you said it on your funny video, I still laugh about that video. Yeah, that was the farmers only video. It's so funny that, do they have autoplay on YouTube Shorts? I don't know if they have that on desktop. We put that video up, and maybe it's my ego, I don't know, but I just assumed that people who follow the channel would know that was like 3 years ago. I mean, Lisa looks completely different now than she did then. I have a full beard now where I only had that then. We weren't in the same house. Lisa has lost like 70 pounds since doing that video. She looks completely different, but people didn't realize it was old. And so we were getting comments like, does she really let him go on Farmers Only? Like, what? Why did he shave his beard and now he looks like Fred Durst? I mean, look at the comments of that video. It's funny. I get a kick out of it. It's not like I'm mad about it, but yeah, that's funny. I thought the beard looked good. Why did he go back to that, whatever they call that, chin diaper or whatever? No, that's what South Park calls the mask. Anyway, but that's funny, Plecolatopus. I came up with that, Plecolatopus. That's the brilliance that's going on in this head right here. Jimmy Jansen, not Jimmy Johnson, the NASCAR driver or Dallas Cowboy University of Miami coach, but Jansen, get it right. I wonder, have you tested the Aquil Turbo 2000? No. And I don't even know what that is. You have a smiley face. So are you trolling me? Is that like something funny that I should know, but I don't know? Is there a joke behind that I just it just went right over my head? I don't know. But no, I've not tried that. I do not know what it is. Get yourself a new truck. You're welcome from Regina Phalanges. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. $10 super chat. Good grief. When I look at new trucks, I'm just being honest with you folks. It makes me sick. It really does. Because they're so stupid expensive. I've never seen it so bad. And of course, listen, I'm realistic. Okay. Fu Manchu, that might be what yeah. I thought the Fu Manchu included the mustache though, or the goatee. Whatever. I always called it a goatee, but who cares? I don't have it anymore, and I don't think I'll ever go back to that. And I can't shave my face entirely because Lisa might leave me because she's never seen me without facial hair. I don't know how that's going to go. I shave that off. She might realize that I have a butt chin under here, and she might be like, nope, not my style. I don't want that to happen. My fantasy, as far as trucks goes, Regina, is the Sierra Denali Ultimate. And you can't touch one of those for under like $80,000. Can you believe that? I remember as a kid looking like every kid in the 80s fantasized about Lamborghini Countachs and Ferrari Testarossas. That's what we all fantasized over. And all Ferraris. But the Lamborghini Countach was mine. Like, that was my obsession. And I remember looking at that and being like, she's doing it again with the flashlight outside the window. She's a weirdo. I was like, they're like $80,000. And I was like 9. And I'm like, they're $80,000. Can you even believe that? And now, as a 48-year-old grandpa, the truck I want's $80,000. This is why I will never have one. Got to get a whole lot more $10 super chats, Regina. I mean, you know. Flavor Saver, how dare you go R-rated in my stream? How dare you? I've heard it referred to as that before, and that's inappropriate. So I will not say anything more about that. It's an internal filter. Is that the Aquashella Turbo 2000? Let's look it up, shall we? Now that we know he's not trolling, let's see what that is. Is that a brand? Aquashella? What a weird name. You would think as a retailer I would know all of these. No, I have not seen that, and that is a weird name. That's a cool filter, though. I mean, it really is. You got the biofilter in there. It's like a power sponge filter. I like it. It looks nice. It looks like it has adjustable flow right there on the output, which is odd, but hey. If it works, so what? Okay. Yeah. Of course it says professionals, so us amateurs, we ain't allowed to use it. You got to get that certificate. Is this even available in the US? Let's look on the Devil website. Nope. So it must be that is, well, it's just not available to me. That's why I haven't seen it. But it looks like a cool filter, though. My problem with products that are overseas, I'm not that guy that's like, I am only going to sell American-made products. If I did that, I wouldn't have any products to sell. So, you know, that's just not possible for me to do. I like to support American businesses. I like to, my nephew asked me the other day, he's like, what kind of truck are you going to get? And I said, why don't you guess? And he's like, well, I know it's going to be American. I mean, but Lisa drives a Japanese vehicle. I mean, it's fine. I'm not one of those guys that's like, I won't buy it unless it's American made. I'm not that guy. But, when it comes to buying products, for example, the Higer stuff, we buy Higer directly from the manufacturer, which is a luxury to be able to do that. However, the whole process takes 3 or 4 months. So if I'm going to buy product that's going to last for 3 or 4 months, it's a humongous chunk of money to justify it. Not only to justify it, but also to have enough inventory to cover that 3 to 4 months. And then, oops, you let the 3 to 4 months go to by. Now you're going to order more. It's going to take 3 or 4 months. It's really difficult to keep them in stock because it just takes so long. I'm not going to get into the politics of it and all of that kind of stuff. I think it's always taken a long time. Maybe not as long as it does now, but whatever. I love the Hygge products. Their sponge filters, their lights, they're fantastic. They're great. We sell a ton of them. I sure would like to find something to replace them, though. Something that doesn't have to be American made. If it was American made, it would cost 4 times as much, which sucks. If I can go American made, I will. But if something that is comparable in price to what the Hygers are, and that I can get more regularly, I'm all over it. I would do it in a heartbeat. I've asked a couple of companies. They don't seem to be interested. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about it, but it's tough. It's real tough. But I'm not trying to ask anybody for any sympathy, because I'm a lucky guy to do what I do for a living, and I love doing what I do for a living. That's just one of the frustrations that I deal with is it's hard to get this stuff. My Ford Edge was made in Canada. I looked up the VIN. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, like the Toyota Tundra, people look at those as a Japanese vehicle because it's made by a Japanese company, company that's owned in Japan. But the Tundra is designed and manufactured entirely in the state of Texas. It is as much an American-made vehicle as a Ram or a GMC or anything General Motors or Ford. So I don't know why everybody looks at it as it's just owned by a Japanese company is what it is. I'm not opposed to the Toyota. I just really love that Sierra, and oh boy, do I love the Denali Ultimate. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to quit YouTube. I'm going to go to school full time. Lisa, I hope you're listening, because get ready. This is what's coming. I'm going to go to school full time, and I figure by the time I'm 60, I'll be done with my residency. Because, it'll take me 12 years for all of the classes that I'm going to fail and all that kind of stuff. It'll take me that long to become a doctor, specialist, because they're the ones that make the real money. I will become a surgeon of some type, maybe by the time I'm retirement age, and then I'll be able to buy that Denali Ultimate. That's what I'll do. That's how I'll do it. That's the only way I'm going to get it. I'm not going to get it selling titles and sharks and extreme fish food. Maybe someday. I know a lot of wealthy people that are in this industry. Maybe someday I could. But I can tell you this, though, and then we're going to have to wrap things up. If you ever see a Denali Ultimate in the background of one of my videos, just know it happened. We won the lottery. A Koenigsegg truck would be amazing. Yeah, and it'd be $3 million. So now, not only do I have to become a surgeon, but I have to invent the next electric car and then start a space program. And that's after I started PayPal with 2 of my buddies and then sold it for billions of dollars. Maybe that's when I could get a Koenigsegg. This is so much fun, folks. I appreciate y'all hanging out. I know the stream has been a little laggy tonight. I'm a different person when I don't have to worry about letting somebody else talk. And that's no dig on Lisa. I prefer having her here. But I'm more casual, and I can just talk whenever I want to talk. I don't have to worry about being fair. I don't have to be fair. It's just me. So anyway, I have set up the stream now to automatically redirect you to the Fish Room Fever stream. They are streaming live from Aquashella. Now, Aquashella isn't happening until Saturday, so I don't know if they're in their hotel rooms or in their hotel room. It'll be Ed and James. They went there together. I don't know what they're doing. They might be sitting out in the hallway somewhere, sitting crisscross applesauce, doing the stream. I don't know, but they are at the event right now. So you're going to want to go check in with them. And you don't have to do anything. As soon as I'm done streaming, YouTube will automatically take you over there. It's awesome the way they have that set up. So go over there, hang out with them, let them know I sent you. The hashtag Denali, Denaa, Denali. That's how do I not know how to spell it? I got 44,000 people watching. It's a lot of pressure. Denali hashtag for their stream. And if you want to go crazy, you can do hashtag John wants a Denali. And John will never have a Denali. But go over there and hang out with them. It'll be a lot of fun. And I look forward to seeing as many of you all as possible this weekend at Aquashella. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Jake Adams, you better be ready, my friend, because I'm coming for you that night. No mercy at all. It's on. And it's going to be fun. So thank you to the mods for helping me to keep things straight tonight, getting rid of all of the riffraff and all of that. Without y'all, I couldn't do this because I couldn't pay attention to doing that at the same time. It's too much. So thank you all so much for that. Thank you for hanging out. And I'll see you next week as long as we survive Aquashella.